Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Derek Afasi. I'm the owner of Afasi Financial Group. Today's topic I want to discuss with you self-employed retirement plans, and fully explain, what are some of the pros and cons of the self-employed retirement plan route, on seeing, which would pertain best to your goals. Now, there's two major options that an individual has regarding self-employed retirement plans, and you have to think of it kind of like a bucket, as an accumulation bucket. You can either have the one plan that gets set up for pre-tax monies, meaning if you're going and you're placing dollars into a specific retirement bucket every single year, those dollars are going to be tax deductible. So it's known as pre-tax, meaning tax deductible now, to then, as this bucket grows and grows and grows, by the time you're ready to retire, you have something known as a 59 and a half rule, meaning you can't touch that bucket till age 59 and a half. And when you pull out any sorts of monies from that account, it's going to be fully taxable on the back end. So what happens is, in a simple example, let's say if someone who's self-employed made $100,000, and they decide to place 10% of their monies into a type of pre-tax retirement plan, and they take $10,000 and they place it into that plan, well, at the end of the year, it's going to show their adjusted gross income to be $90,000 because 10,000 of it is tax deductible. But the amount of contributions that they're placing into that bucket is now going to grow based upon a specific percentage rate of return, whether that's in a fixed account, an index account, a mutual fund account, whatever that is going to determine how large or small that bucket is at the end of the day, at the end of the year. So individuals that set it up this way in these pre-tax qualified retirement accounts, they're able to get that tax deduction now, understanding that they're going to pay taxes later on. So there's nothing truly wrong with that. It just all depends upon what your tax situation is. And how to basically set that up. Now, one of the things that we try to do is, if you're looking for pre-tax money that will eventually be fully taxable, there's a specifically designed plan that you could set up for those things if you're self-employed. And also, if you're looking for a tax-free aspect, meaning something that's not going to be tax deductible as you place in those contributions into a bucket, but essentially what it's going to do is grow, compound interest, and then when it comes time to retire, every dollar that you pull out is going to be 100% tax-free. That's a secondary portion. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're not making that mistake of going into the wrong designated plan. If someone's looking for tax-free money later on, they should not be going in a pre-tax plan. Just like if someone's looking to, accentuate their tax deductions, then they should not be looking towards a tax-free plan. So, there's kind of give and take between both of those options. Now, when I talk about this little portion over here, it says the safe options. And what we try to do with any sort of plan is we try to make sure that you're avoiding reverse dollar cost averaging at every aspect, meaning you're eliminating or severely reducing any sorts of fees that are getting set up with your retirement bucket. And so that's fees either through mutual funds, through certain types of accounts, advisor fees. And then the very last one is downward market loss that could severely impact your retirement account. So if you think about, if you're getting set up, and let's say someone's taking contributions and they're placing into a retirement bucket year by year by year, well, if you have fees that are coming out of this bucket, well, then you have to poke a couple of holes at the bottom of this bucket, and those are fees that are leaking out of this bucket. So in order for your account to even to break even, or to go up, to grow every year, there has to be some sort of percentage that's linked to that bucket, and that percentage gain that you're receiving has to be higher than what those fees are. So what individuals do is they make that mistake if they say, okay, we're going to tie this to mutual funds, and I'm just going to try to set it and forget it. As long as I'm placing contributions in there, the mutual fund performance should be doing well. And that's the misconception that unfortunately individuals did experience in 2008, when the average portfolio lost over 50%. So some portfolios lost a lot worse. Some portfolios lost, a little bit less than that. So, all kind of depends upon how you were structured properly. But the main component, the main thing that I want to hit home is saying, listen, avoid that downward market loss. And there's ways on how you could do that. If you're self-employed, you could set up certain types of contracts, certain SEP IRA contracts that allow you to maximize how much contributions you place into your retirement bucket, and then that retirement bucket could be linked into something known as an indexing strategy that is, every time that you place a contribution in there, it's either going to your interest credit is either going to be positive, or it's going to be 0%. It's going to be positive or be 0%. So there's a couple different ways to skin that cat. You just want to be aware on what exactly are those specific plans. And at any point in time during this video, if you are interested, feel free to give our 1-800 number a call. It's 1-800-566-1002. So if we're looking at the pre-tax aspect, there are specific indexing strategies that allow you to do that. You also have a tax-free aspect where you could leverage certain things known as 7702 plans, which is more set up on an individual basis, that allows you to manipulate how cash value of life insurance works, meaning that every dollar of contribution that's going into your plan is being accentuated with cash value. And the reason why that's beneficial is because you could tie that cash value to always having a positive aspect, making sure that you're reducing the fees as much as possible, the life insurance fees as much as possible, and essentially not being subject to that 59.5 rule that you would have with qualified accounts. So essentially, when set up those 7702 plans, and this is set up for many self-employed individuals, their premium dollars would go into a plan. That plan would grow tax-free. That plan will be able to be taking out tax-free, so they could retire before age 60. The growth within that plan is tied to an upward stock market index, meaning anytime the market goes up, you could receive a specific percentage gain in that. Anytime the market goes down, you still have that 0% floor. And then also, God forbid, if they were to pass away before they retired, or even during their retirement, they're going to leave a tax-free death benefit to their loved ones, to their heirs, as an inheritance. So, at the end of the day, it's all about avoiding the negatives. It's all about how to understand reverse dollar cost averaging, how to understand how reverse dollar cost averaging can severely hinder your retirement accounts, and then trying to mold a plan specific to your situation. If you're looking for something that's going to be tax deductible plans, something that's going to be pre-tax on a qualified retirement basis, there are specifically designed plans for you, and that's something that we set up on a national basis. So depending upon what your area is, if somebody's in the state of Texas, or another person's in the state of Florida, those are going to have two severely different options in there, to see which ones would be the best route. If you're 30 years old, or if someone's 50 years old and they want to try to get set up, that's going to be two completely different sets of plans, two different sets of options out there. So what we try to do is we really hone in on our niche, is the safe, consistent planning. If you're looking for something that's extravagant, something that's super wealth accumulation and a lot of risk, that's not our company. That's not what we do best. What we do is we have a patented design known as a Retire Sharpe planning system, which allows us to go through all the top carriers, all the top contracts, and then proprietary strategies, so that when we give our recommendations, we're versing them against the top carriers and contracts, so that we're saying, hey, listen, if you're calling in, this is exactly what your goals are. This is the problem. Do you want to have this problem solved? This is some recommendations on how you could solve this problem, and we're going to make sure that we're educating you first and foremost, so that you're comfortable, you understand if you're placing a premium dollar into a type of program, that it's going to really maximize that benefit. The very last thing I want to discuss is the power of compound interest for your specific plan. Albert Einstein stated that the most powerful thing in the world is the power of compound interest. So if you're going and you unfortunately are experiencing reverse dollar cost averaging in your accounts, meaning you go and let's say the market goes down 10%, but then you're noticing that you have mutual fund related fees coming out of 1%, you have advisor fees coming out of 1%, maybe you tried pulling money from that account and then you tried pulling out 5% from that account. What all these things do is it's a computation effect. Kind of think of it like a tornado vortex of negative aspects that are hindering your account. And what you want to do is avoid those negatives. And if you could have power of compound interest work in a positive direction, that's where you're going to be able to accentuate what your gains are, accentuate how much money you could then potentially have as either an inheritance or as, most importantly, retirement income or some sort of planning aspect. So we just want to make sure that you're educated, make sure that you fully understand these things. But if you're a self-employed individual and you're looking to get set up in a retirement plan, that's one of the things we do specialize, on a national basis. We are A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau. We've never had any complaints. We've always had very good reviews, and it's because of our methodical process. And I think in conjunction with our Retire Sharpe planning system, and that's something that individuals have been very satisfied with either myself, other representatives, or just my company company as a whole. So, at any point in time, feel free to give us a call. It's 1-800-566-1002. We offer 24/7 customer service because of the volume that we do get in on a national basis. We want to make sure that somebody is there to take your phone call about every aspect. It could be Saturday, it could be Sunday, nights, weekends, mornings, whatever it is, and we'll make sure that there is a specialist standing by. So simply give us a call, 1-800-566-1002. Let the assistants know that you want to speak with a specialist, regarding self-employed retirement plans, and they'll make sure to get you over to the right department, and you'll at least have a conversation and get educated from there. I hope that you enjoyed this content. I hope that it helped trigger some different things in your mind on understanding safe options, avoiding the negatives, power of compound interest, and feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Retire Sharpe, so you could have access to the most updated videos. Thank you so much, guys.